So we're going to finish 11-2 area of trapezoid, rhombi, and kite. We're going to do the rhombi and kite portion. So again, we're going to flip this over to the back. If you have your orange formula sheet, the top on the back, rhombi and kite. For both of them, your formula is 1/2 times D1 times D2, where D1 and D2 are the diagonals. So sometimes they'll give you two different parts and you have to add it all up. Other times it'll tell you the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and write this on your formula sheet. Your area is 1/2 times D1 and D2. D1 and D2 are my two diagonals. It doesn't matter which one is 1 and 2 because you're multiplying the two of them together. So let's go ahead and get started. This first one, this side is 56 and this is 26, so I'm going to add those two up, 56 plus 26, and I'm going to get 82. The second one is 20 and 20, so again, add those two up, and I have 40. So my formula is area equals 1/2 my one diagonal times my second diagonal. You could do there's a couple ways. I could take half of 82 and multiply that number by 40. I could take half of 40 and multiply that number by 82. The way I'm going to do it is a little bit harder. I'm going to show you multiplying the two big numbers and then taking half of that. So I'm going to multiply 82 times 40. Get 3,280. Take half of that number, and we'll get 1,640. My units is inches squared. These are not too bad. Try another one. So here, this one tells me that these two are congruent. So if this one's 20, this one's going to be 20 as well. So this diagonal is 40. Here we have 10 and 10. So this diagonal is 20. So my area, I'm going to do this over here, equals 1/2 40 times 20. Again, I can do 20. Half of 40 is 20. 20 times 20, which will give me 400. I could also take half of 20, make it 10. 40 times 10 is also 400. But again, I'm going to show you when you multiply the bigger numbers. 40 times 20 is 800. Half of 800 is 400. So again, if you get this, I would pause the video and try the last two on your own, and then replay it again to check. I'm going to keep on going. So for C, we have 24 plus 24, which is 48. 18 plus 10 is 28. My area equals 1/2 48 times 28. 48 times 28 is 1,344. And half of that is 672. Last one, I don't have to do any adding here. They do the adding for me. The entire thing is 18 and 12. So I don't have to add 18 plus 18 or anything. I already have my two numbers. So my area equals 1/2 12 times 18. 12 times 18 is 216. Half of that number is 108. Now we're going to move down to when you're finding the missing area. I'm missing a measurement. So this first one, we have the area. We know that this diagonal adds to 20, but we do not know what this diagonal is. And it's important to note that half of it is x. We don't know the other half either. So we're going to call that diagonal 2x. So area equals 1/2 d1, d2. I know my area is 340. My first diagonal is 20. My second diagonal I'm going to call 2x because x plus x equals 2x. So I could take half of 20. I could take half of 2x. I'm going to take half of 2x here because half of 2x is just 1x. So half of 2x is 1x. So I will have 340 equals 20x. I could also take half of 20 and do 10 times 2x, which would also give me 20x. Divide up both sides by 20. And 17 is my x. Let's try one more of these. So this is another one where they give you both diagonals. This time I don't have to add the two x's together because the entire diagonal is x. So I have area equals 1/2 d1, d2. My area is 247.5. My first diagonal is x. My second diagonal is 22.5. I'm going to take half of 22.5. Which is 11.25. You could also multiply both sides by 2 and make this a bigger number. Divide both sides by 11.25. And 22 is my x. Okay, similar how we did it with the trapezoid one, it is also great to plug your x back in. So half of 20 times 2 times 17 will be 34. So 10 times, because half of 20 is 10, 10 times 34 is 340. Again, you can use a calculator with that to just double check. And then over here, you would probably definitely want to use a calculator, but half of 22 is 11. 11 times 22.5. I'll show you. Oops. 11 times 22.5 and it gives me my original area. So it's easy to check these.